Let's try the command injection in the Web Security Academy here. So I don't need this. And I search for command. Oh, here we are in command injection. All right, so as usual, open it in a new tab and open the lab in a new tab. All right, and now in the product stock checker, it contains a command injection vulnerability. Okay, and so that's not here. It's when you view details. Down here, you can check to see how much stock there is in London. That's the stock checker there. So this is the vulnerable thing. So as before, I get ready to see it, and then I clear the history so I don't have to dig through all this old stuff. So in Burp, I right-click Clear History and say yes. All right, now I check the stock in London. Okay, and now I have the request I want in Burp. This is post-product stock. So I send this to the repeater. And in the repeater, I can see there are two parameters, product ID and store ID. And there's a command injection vulnerability, which means that the programmer used one of these parameters in a command line command. And if they did, then you can add another command after a delimiter, like for example, ID, ampersand is often one that works, or semicolon. Excuse me, not ampersand, but semicolon. So if I do a semicolon and then ID, if there's command injection vulnerability, it will execute the command ID, and ID is the Linux command that tells you your username. So let's try that, semicolon ID. And the response contains the 62, and here's what the ID does. It returns the username. So I am Peter with some letters after it. So that worked, and I think that's all you have to do to solve this one. Yep, that solved it. So that you find a parameter with a command injection vulnerability, and you can execute command line commands on the server. Now here's another issue. Very often you have command injection, but it does not return the result of the command back to you. So that's blind command injection. So here I think it's the same. In the feedback function, it contains a command injection vulnerability. All right, here's submit feedback. Okay, so one of these things here has command injection. I could hunt through them, but I think I'll just look at the solution. They say it's the email parameter, and in this case, they say use double pipes to add the command. So that's something I wouldn't have guessed. They think a semicolon won't work, or it's not what they like to use. So I would submit anything for the name, anything for the email. I like to make it look like an email. Anything for the subject. And down here, my message is X pipe, say ID pipe. Make the font bigger. So this, if I have command injection like we had the last time, this would execute the ID command. Now let's go look at Burp and clear the old stuff in the proxy history. And now send this request. And it did some. Thank you for submitting feedback. It doesn't return anything related. So it might have executed that command, but I don't have any way to know that it executed that command. So I'll send this to the repeater, and we can try some alternatives, although I don't even need Burp for this one, really. The point is, if you do this, ping count 10 127001 using a plus instead of spaces, then that will just slow it down. So if I submit that feedback with anything in these fields, and here, that, then When I submit it, I can just count how long before I see this thank you message. 1, 2, 3. It seems like it came back right away. So let me read the instructions more carefully. Modify the email parameter. It should have taken 10 seconds to return. Let's try it in Burp. Then, here I am in Burp. And here's the email parameter. Oh, the email parameter. I was putting it in the wrong place. I was putting it in subject. So if I use email, I again don't really need Burp. I'll put it up here. Okay. I wasn't paying enough attention. There. Now, it says thank you, but if I click this, okay. All right, now in here, I have to make it look like an email address, which is going to be hard. That's, I guess, why I need Burp. Okay, so let's do it here in Burp. Here's the email. So I'll change that to that. Okay, and now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so it took 9 seconds or something. That's the point. It takes 10 seconds to do those pings, so you can prove that you are executing a command even though you can't see the result. This is blind command injection. And that should do for that one. Yep, okay. All right, and there are other versions of it here. I don't think I'll go through them. That's command injection. Let me stop this one.